If you are feeling a little lost or behind in life right now, this video is for you. I'm Adeline, and this channel is for anyone who feels a little overwhelmed by modern life and wants to live more intentionally. Let's talk. I feel like it's so common these days for people to have these feelings of, I should be doing something, or feeling like something's just a little off. And if you are having any of these thoughts or feelings, you are not alone. But it can be really hard to know where to start and knowing how to take those first steps. And a way that I like to think about it is like hiking. Like progress is like hiking. And obviously, you don't get to your goal right away. You have to work towards that incrementally. And sometimes the beginning can be the hardest to think about, oh, all of this work that I have to do, and oh, it's going to take so long, or maybe I'm not ready for it. And these are all normal thoughts and feelings to be having at first. Of course, you're going to have to work towards whatever it is that you want to do, but you really gain momentum once you start going up that mountain. And your body and your mind can resist you at first, also completely normal. But once you start going just step by step, you will start to acclimate. Your body is not going to feel as much resistance. Your mind is going to be much more motivated. And these are all really good signs that you are going in the right direction. And you have to remind yourself that rest is part of the progress. It does not mean giving up or having a bad day or something like that. You have to give yourself time to just relax. You don't have to work every single day towards your goal. And if you think about hiking, of course you have to take breaks. You can't just sprint up the mountain and think that you're going to be able to make it, because that can actually make you very stagnant. If you just fatigue yourself completely, you may not even make it to the top. So just make sure that you give yourself rests. Personally, I love hiking, and the ones that have been my favorite were the ones where I had to work a little bit harder, because when you have to work towards something like that, the reward or the end goal is just even sweeter. Something that helps a lot is being kind to yourself, but you also have to be honest with yourself. And a way that I like to look at it is like if you were talking to someone that you cared about, you wouldn't tell your friend or your little sister or your little brother or whoever it may be. Like, you would not be hard on them. Like, we are hard on ourselves sometimes. So reframing it in that way can actually be really helpful. You can say, I've been slacking a bit lately, and I know that doing XYZ would really help me feel better and really improve my life, even if it's just small, small things that you've just been putting off. So you really just need to remove that shame, because anytime that you talk to yourself negatively, that is not helping at all. In fact, it can make you feel very stagnant, which is probably where some of these feelings are stemming from in the first place. Another thing to keep in mind is to not compare yourself to others. You cannot compare your start to someone else's middle, end, or even someone else's start, because everybody has different things that they're working towards or different things in their life that shape the way that they go about things. And really, the only person that you should compare to is the person that you used to be. And that could look like, oh wow, like now when I get up in the morning, I am cleaning my room. I am, journaling a couple sentences. I'm going for a 10-minute walk. And last week or a couple weeks ago or whatever, I wasn't. And now I'm making progress, because I have been there myself. Months ago, I was staying up super late, I was sleeping in way too much, playing video games, eating pretty unhealthy, and I just had these nagging feelings of like, I need to be balancing my time better, like this is not making me feel good. But I had a lot of resistance at first. I did not have motivation to make these changes in my life, and I just felt very disconnected from myself, and I felt like I was indulging in these behaviors to numb like the feelings that I knew that I was having, but I wasn't ready to face. And I'll be honest, I was hard on myself at first, and trust me, that does not help at all. That did not help me start making those changes. I started making changes once I shifted my perspective of this feeling that I was having. So instead of like, oh, like this is so bad and, you know, all these things, I shifted into thinking about it in a way that framed it as this is actually a helpful feeling, because that means that you are ready for change and you are ready to leave behind the habits or, you know, whatever it is that you want to move away from. Like, you are ready to take the next steps. And obviously, these things are not going to come overnight, and that is realistic. You're not going to just wake up and feel 100% motivated and 100% ready, and it's just like, it doesn't work that way a lot of the time. So what you just really need to do is shrink the mountain down into steps that you can take. And like I said, these can be very small things, just things to make your environment better, to make your mindset a little bit better. Just remind yourself to be kind to yourself, and remember that feeling lost does not mean that there is something wrong with you. It is very common for people of all ages to feel this way at some point in their life. You just have to identify what it is that you want to change and just slowly take those steps. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.